They called them war criminals. America called them indispensable. The year is 1945. The Third Reich crumbles, Allied forces sweep across Europe, and the world breathes a sigh of relief. But in the shadows of victory, a new kind of war was beginning. A war for knowledge, for technology, and for the brilliant, albeit morally compromised. Minds that once served a regime of unspeakable evil. Everyone believes that after World War II, the United States vigorously pursued and prosecuted every Nazi war criminal. The reality is far more complex and, frankly, disturbing. Because while some faced justice, others were secretly offered a different path. A one-way ticket to America. This wasn't a rogue operation. It was a meticulously planned, top-secret government program known as Operation Paperclip. Its purpose: to harvest German scientific expertise for American gain, particularly in rocketry, aviation, and medicine, before the Soviets could get their hands on it. The roots of Paperclip stretch back to the final days of the war. As Allied troops advanced, they uncovered incredible German technological breakthroughs. Jet engines, guided missiles, advanced optics innovations that could define the next century of warfare and exploration. The British had their own similar initiative, Operation Surgeon. The Soviets, even more aggressive, launched Operation Osowieckim, forcibly relocating entire German research teams and their families to the USSR. The race was on, and America was determined not to be left behind. Initially, the program was called Operation Overcast, authorized by the Joint Chiefs of Staff in July 1945. Its goal was to exploit German scientists. But there was a massive ethical hurdle. Many of these scientists had been members of the Nazi Party, some even implicated in horrific war crimes. Consider Arthur Rudolph, a brilliant rocket engineer, instrumental in the V2 program. He oversaw a factory at Mittelwerk where slave laborers, many from Dora Mittelbau concentration camp, were worked to death. By some estimates, more people died building the V2 than from its actual deployment. Rudolph, along with hundreds of others, was deemed too valuable to prosecute. His knowledge was seen as critical for America's burgeoning space program. He would eventually become a key figure in the Saturn V rocket development, the very rocket that took humanity to the moon. The most famous Paperclip recruit, of course, was Wernher von Braun, the father of the V2 rocket, a weapon that rained terror on London. A documented member of the SS, von Braun surrendered to American forces in May 1945, seeing a future for his rocketry dreams in the West. He brought with him a team of over 100 rocket specialists. They were initially housed in Fort Bliss, Texas, continuing their work under strict secrecy. Their past affiliations were whitewashed, their records sanitized, and their allegiances conveniently forgotten. In September 1946, President Truman officially approved Operation Paperclip, but with a crucial caveat. No one who was a member of the Nazi Party and more than a nominal participant in its activities, or an active supporter of Nazi militarism, should be recruited. A good intention, perhaps, but one that was routinely circumvented. The Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, or JIOA, was tasked with vetting these scientists. When a scientist's Nazi past proved problematic, the JIOA simply rewrote their background reports, removing incriminating evidence. They created entirely new biographies, often labeling these individuals as merely nominal party members, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. The strategic importance of their knowledge outweighed moral considerations, or so the argument went. By 1957, over 600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians had been brought to the United States under Operation Paperclip. They worked on everything from ballistic missiles to biological weapons, from space exploration to advanced aviation. Beyond rocketry, Paperclip brought over medical doctors. Take Hubertus Strughold, known as the father of space medicine. He conducted horrific experiments on concentration camp prisoners, torturing them in freezing water and extreme pressure chambers to study human endurance. Strughold, like others, saw his past erased. He became a leading figure at the USAF School of Aviation Medicine, developing crucial insights for astronaut survival. His name still graces awards and institutions, a chilling reminder of the compromises made. The long-term implications are staggering. America gained a technological leap, undeniably. But at what cost? The moral erosion of accepting perpetrators of heinous crimes, granting them immunity and prestige simply for their scientific prowess. Critics argue that Operation Paperclip set a dangerous precedent. signaling that scientific advancement could justify nearly any moral transgression. It undermined the very principles of justice and human rights that the Allies claimed to fight for. The program remained largely classified for decades, only coming to broader public awareness through declassified documents and investigative journalism in the 1970s and 80s. The full extent of the moral compromises is still being debated today. Paperclip wasn't just about rockets. It was about securing an advantage in the burgeoning Cold War. It was about fear of Soviet dominance, fear of being outpaced, fear that drove a nation to make a deal with the devil. Many of these scientists, including von Braun, went on to have distinguished careers in the U.S., becoming household names. Their pasts, however, remained a persistent, uncomfortable stain on the fabric of American history and its ethical foundations. The legacy of Operation Paperclip is a stark reminder that history is rarely black and white. It's a spectrum of shades, where ambition and pragmatism can sometimes override morality, leaving us to grapple with the consequences generations later. The secret program that brought Nazi scientists to America isn't just a historical footnote. It's a living question. How far is too far in the pursuit of national interest? A question that continues to echo in our modern world. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect is how little public outrage there was at the time, shielded by secrecy and the overwhelming relief of victory. The truth, as always, eventually